dates back to the 7th century. Since that time, the building has been destroyed, but if you look down, you can still see the round foundation, which was the base of the inner colonnade and the baptistry. Here, the catechumen were baptized, after which they became full-fledged members of the community of believers. We should remember that, in contrast to today's practices, in those days, baptizing was the final stage on the way to Christianity. This path was carefully checked by the Church and included the public profession of faith. After communion, Christians were allowed to enter the church through a passage between two large niches, which still can be seen in the only surviving wall, facades. In front of the western facade, there is an attachment of the forechurch built in the 19th century, which was extended and rebuilt in the form of an internal corridor connecting different rooms. In the 19th century, the western portico was connected with the nearby church of St. Fosca with a covered colonnade. At the top, the wall is divided into 6 niches separated by 7 lacens, or vertical decorative wall projections. In the central part, let's pay attention to 2 windows of bullseye type, and below to 2 arched openings, which were walled up to create a mosaic in the counter facade. On each side, there are 3 symmetrically arranged wider niches relating to aisles. On the top of the facade, there is a marble coat of arms of Bishop Pietro Nani, who in 1423 undertook restoration of the building. The northern wall is characterized by false arches resting on lacens, which, despite their simplicity, give a finished look to the facade. Following the perimeter of the building, we meet 3 apses decorated with vertical architectural elements. It should be noted that in the central apse there is another built-in apse, smaller in size, which coincides with the lost crypt, which was arranged in the original temple. On the south side there are 6 windows. In 4 of the central windows there are encasements made of Istrian stone. The belfry. The belfry, built in the meadow, is the dominant architectural element on the island. Its height is 55 meters. The tower was erected in the 11th century and is in full harmony with all other buildings, repeating the shape of decorative lacens. Interior. Interior decoration. Let us finally enter the cathedral through the right side door. In front of us we can see a magnificent picture. The space is divided into 3 naves completed with the same number of apses, which are separated by 18 columns made of Greek marble with wonderful Corinthian capitals. The floor is richly decorated with polychrome marble inserts forming geometric patterns. It is raised by 20 centimeters compared to the original surface, the remains of which can be seen through 2 hatches. Approaching the presbytery on the floor, we see the tombstone of Paul from Maltino, the first bishop of Torcello. The tombstone is a bas-relief depicting the figure of the prelate facing towards the altar. However, the iconostasis is the most impressive thing. It rests on 6 thin columns connected to plates decorated with peacocks and lions. This decorative element can often be found in Byzantine basilicas where it has 2 main functions, separating the zone intended for believers from the zone intended for the liturgy. At the same time, it is a visual doctrine of the salvation. All icons with a gold background, attributed to Venetian painters from the 15th century, depict the Virgin Mary and the Apostles. On the left, you can admire the pulpit, intended for reading the Holy Scriptures, which was created from a variety of fragments originating from Maltino. In the center of the presbytery there is the main altar, which was reconstructed in 1921 through 1923 and nowadays preserves the remains of Saint Heliodorus, the first bishop of Altino. To the left of the altar there is the above-mentioned inscription, which dates back to the foundation of the temple and is the first monument of the history of Venice. The most significant works of art in the cathedral are the excellent mosaics, masterfully created by local and Byzantine, possibly Constantinople, artists. The mosaics were created in several stages. The central apse was decorated in the late 11th century, whereas the western wall and southern apse at the beginning of the 12th century. The mosaics, as we can see them now, are a complex mix of original features and renovations made at the end of the 12th century, as well as the result of the restorations of the 18th through 20th centuries. Apse. In the middle of the absidio concave You can admire the...
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.